This will probably go down as one of the most important videos I will film on this channel. The topic is something you've probably heard very little about, but it is one of the most important topics. And I think a lot of the times we are lied about in regards to this topic. And so I just really want to clear things up and help you guys to find solutions in your life. And just to start, I want to talk about how everybody seems to have this unrealistic idea that things are going to take more time than they actually need to. And yeah, sometimes they actually do. They do take time. And I don't want you guys to get me wrong. This video is not about getting rich quick. It's not about that. It's not about achieving all the riches and hitting all your goals way earlier, way before your time, right? This is not about that, and I don't want you guys to think that. And we can actually base that off of two different scriptures in Proverbs 28:20, which says, "A faithful man shall abound with blessings, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent." Or the other one, Proverbs 13:11, "Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase." Now there's a quote that I love. I'm not going to share who it's from, but the idea was that money in is a business, money out is vanity. Meaning it kind of builds up on this scripture where it says, "Wealth gotten by vanity shall be diminished, but he that gathereth by labor shall increase." Besides money, because this video isn't totally about money, what other problems do we face in our lives? What other forms of division do we face in our lives? Does starting that business or quitting that addiction really have to take so long? Does it have to take so much time? Now, I want you guys to understand that I am coming from a place where I've been through addictions. I've been through a couple different kinds. And so I understand it very deeply as it took up so much of my life. It did take time. But I understand things differently on a perspective that I didn't understand then. And I recognize things and I understand that, God gives us authority and power here on earth to, as he states, crush his skull. Crush whose skull? The devil's skull. To crush those objective arrows from the adversary. We all have a crazy, unrealistic expectation of how much time it takes to do things. And I apologize, guys, if I sound like, like a squeaky chair right now. If you can't hear my voice, I am a little bit sick, so I'm just going to kind of push through the best I can. But here's what I've picked up. The reason we are this way is because we tend to be more fixated on video games or like movies or binge watching that TV show. We've all been in that place. I've been in that place, and fairly recent actually, because it's a cycle. It always reoccurs, and then you have to find your way to get right back out. But we spend a lot more time doing the adverse of what we want, so therefore we don't have as much time to do the things that we need. We don't spend enough time trying to work on solving our problem. And again, I feel like I just bulldozed over my last point, saying that I basically said that it takes time to solve these problems. But the thing is, it should take us nearly half the time to solve these problems that we create. If we didn't just distract ourselves with all these other things, clearly it's not important enough to us because we want all these other things way more. But the truth is, anything you don't like in your life, you can remove in nearly a second. And that's really all it takes. Yeah, some things do take time, but most things only take a second. If you don't like your friends, it takes a second to say goodbye, just to leave them. 1 second, you're done. And the thing is, if you do it quick, you can't be emotional, especially because you know it's right? So don't be emotional because you know it is right. Don't see success in your business? Go and look at where you're spending your time, how you're spending your time, and remove those things. It took 2 seconds, and now you can actually progress with your business. You probably don't realize it, but there are different habits that are probably pulling you back, keeping you from succeeding. It took 2 seconds, and the thing is, that's what's crazy about all this. Most people know what they need to change. They just don't do anything about it. So the quicker you do it, the less emotional you'll be. So here's the main question. How do you succeed at solving your problems? Speed. And that's the only simple answer. My mom's an art teacher, and she always said, more art faster. And I'm going to say the same thing to you guys, but reword it. Do more faster. Think about this. If an airplane's flying, you're all going over to California for your Disneyland trip, right? And suddenly the engines just blow up. They just blow out, and you're going. What's going to happen? Is the plane just going to fall right out of the sky and plummet into the ground? No, it's not. It's not going to. It's because it's going so fast. It's got so much forward momentum that the air is picking it up. It's carrying it from underneath. And ultimately, you could glide that, hopefully, the rest of the way, all the way back, depending on how much speed you have. After all, an object in motion stays in motion. Here's an example. I wanted to write a book for the longest time. I always have. But the reason I didn't was because I felt like it would take too long. The truth is, it doesn't have to take too long. It could take 2 weeks if you really wanted it to. If you care so much about it, lock yourself in a room and just get it done. Write and study. That's all you need to do. So first of all, get focused on finishing the book, then get it checked off. Then, take the little words of advice that you got from checking it off and work on it a little bit more, refine it, fix it up a little bit, and then get it checked off again. And once you are finished, publish it. And that's all you got to do. And it shouldn't take any longer than, say, 3 to 4 weeks. Just finish the book. Now think of it like this. If you are in your 20s like I am, you only have around 18,000 to 19,000 days left to live. So think about it. Like, God only really gives us so much time to solve all of our problems and get things right. Are you really going to spend 365 days of that outside of your labors to achieve the goals and dreams that you have? At that rate, will you ever see anything bear fruit in this life? And now if you think about it, there's 99% of people who still have dreams, keep that in mind, who still have dreams, who haven't had the world beat them out yet, who don't get to see their dreams come true. It's only 1% of that small group of people who actually see things happen. It's not because it's hard, it's not because it's that difficult, it's because we just take too much time. It's by spending time you learn all the skills necessary. It's by spending time continuously you get things done. And the craziest part about it is most of us spend more time thinking and talking about it than actually doing it. All right, so now a little activity time to separate and get your thoughts right real quick before I continue any further. Get something to write on. I like to use my journal, but just find something, a piece of paper, something that you won't lose. Maybe that's even your phone, right? Go in your notes and write down these couple of things. I want you to write down all the habits, maybe all the people, the activities in your life that are holding you back. Again, like I said earlier, all of us know what we need to do, but we just don't get realistic with it. So write down those things and put them all down on the paper in a row format. Now that you have all of your habits, the people, the activities that are really holding you back, we're going to write down the replacement for those habits or people. What can you do instead of this? Let's make a plan real quick. I just want to say you aren't going to get this right the first time. When you face these problems, there's a chance you might forget, right? And so you just got to really remind yourself and keep this close to you. So for me, this is a little example. I found that I love music, but when I go to the gym, the music isn't benefiting me. It's actually holding me back. It's keeping me from achieving more with the time that I have. I find that the gym is super effective, and so I'm not going to get rid of that. So what I'll do is I'll go through the music and I'll say, okay, I could get rid of all the music and replace that with audiobooks, or maybe or listen to a podcast that's going to inspire me. I want things that are going to inspire me so that I can in turn create content that is powerful and new and real for you guys. The next big thing is constant consumption. This is one of the hardest things. I found that about a year ago that journaling is super effective for replacing content consumption. If you get more focused on having a fun journal with a lot of activities in it, or a lot of things to do throughout the day, then you get more addicted to that than activities. But of course, that alone isn't enough. So I would recommend go for a walk. And the activities I'm talking about are like video games, Netflix, Reels/Shorts. Those are some of the most addictive and time-consuming activities you can get involved in, right? Nobody has any control over that. So if you feel like scrolling, you know what? Just get up and go for a walk. That's why I love having a dog. I've got a dog, which is the perfect excuse to just get up and go out. Go out and walk. And while you walk, you can listen to a book, or you can do anything. This could be that like release time, right? Just get up and walk and listen to a fun podcast or a book. Anything but reels and shorts, and I promise you will spend way less time wasting time if you just get up and walk. The next thing would be like negative friends, right? How would you replace negative friends? That's a really difficult one. And I would say prioritize your time. If these are negative friends, you got to start prioritizing your time and getting to know yourself. Actually finding out who you really are, because I feel like a lot of us don't actually know who we are. So get to know yourselves. Prioritize your time. Schedule things out. Say, okay, like for example, I wouldn't consider any of my friends negative, but I also know that I have to get things done because I'm a man, I'm married, I'm going to have kids one day. And so I got to get my life in order so that I'm prepared to provide for those people, right? And so I only hang out every other week if I can, right? But I'll hang out with them here and there. I'm not cutting out my friends, but I'll hang out every other week. But most other days, I'm just super busy, so I only have one day to do it. The next big thing, study the scriptures. Instead of going out and partying with your friends, go and study the scriptures. Get right with God. There's a sense of pride that you feel, and the best kind of pride, let me just say that, the best kind of pride that you feel when you are studying the scriptures and when you know that the adverse activity you could be partaking in is like partying or drinking, right? There's a sense of pride that you feel. So work on gaining, rather than the company of negative people, gain the company of God and his angels. You have authority to change everything in your life. God gives us all authority to change everything that we don't like in our life. And all that's holding us back is the time it takes to execute it. If you struggle to get out of bed, don't think, just get out. There's other things you can do, like take your phone and with its alarm and put it on the other side of the room, right? That way you have to get out of bed to get to your phone to turn off the alarm. Then make your bed so you don't feel like climbing back in, right? Just if you're going to undo anything in your life, if you're gonna get out of bed and leave it unmade or anything like that, you need to remember to redo it. Otherwise, you will continue those habits. Oh, I might just hop right back in bed, right? Or dishes, right? Like if you're struggling keeping clean dishes in your house, you need to make sure that the second you undo them, you make them messy, you wash them, you redo them, right? It's easier to focus on one thing rather than the bulk of things. But it's not that easy, you guys are gonna say, right? And to that, I would say, what do you mean? God didn't give you free will? God didn't give you authority to change your outcome in life? Some of you guys are going to talk about, oh, but you don't understand. My life is hard. We're poor. We don't have a lot of money. I don't have energy in the mornings. All this and this and that. You're going to come up with a million excuses, but I'm going to just say this. Could the only reason your life is so hard be because that God trusts you enough to achieve things to get out of it? God trusts you enough? Do you think there's a reason why you have these hardships placed in your life? That's all so strategic. God does things in a very strategic manner. He's already given you everything you need, so get it done. Think about it. Like, try not to show yourself and also say your future kids who are maybe watching from up above how weak and lazy you are, how pitiful you really can be. Try not to do that. Challenge impossible, right? Okay, just try. Get up, command respect from yourself, and execute the hardships of your life immediately. Execute those things holding you back. Execute the devil and his minions from your life. So what? You're addicted to pornography, right? Or you're addicted to smoking or drinking. Fun fact. The answer is simple as this. Just stop. You have 100% free will. You don't have to do anything. You can stop in a second. It just takes a second. Just stop and replace those habits that would have led you to doing those things immediately. Replace them. If you're going to leave an empty gap in your life, make sure that you fill it with things that are positive. Think about the routines that lead you to doing those things. Reorganize your bedroom. Stop hanging out with those friends. I had to stop hanging out with a lot of friends to make sure that I didn't fail in my life, so that I didn't risk my potential as a human being or as a son of God. But it's not that easy, right? It's not that easy. Then you have a mental disorder. That's a hot take. Either that or you're possessed. Command these demons out of your life that are possessing you, that are taking control of you. God gave you free will. If you care that much, sell your computer. Get it out of the house. Don't be so emotional. Oh, but it's your phone, all right? Well, I mean, here's the simple answer. Destroy it, right? But obviously you're not going to do that. Nobody's going to do that. And I don't blame you. So then never leave yourself behind closed doors. Get up and out of the house. If the home is the division of personal growth, then go elsewhere. Here's some ideas. The library, the park, your backyard, the gym, go to a plaza somewhere, just anywhere but home. Here's what I'm trying to get across to you guys. And I want you guys to be 100% serious and listen. Success isn't complicated. People who win, they don't have some sort of secret. And that's a hard thing to swallow. That's the hardest pill to swallow. People who are successful don't have any secret. Doesn't make them any better than you. Doesn't make what they know any higher than what you know. They're just quite simply faster at making decisions than you. If you don't know, accept the offer and figure it out. The world rewards speed and not hesitation. Remember that. Now think of this. 1 year of your life is 365 days. Now waste that whole entire year. That's 1/50th of your life expectancy gone. That is an insane price to pay for procrastination. Stop waiting for the perfect time, because it's not going to come. Stop waiting for the perfect opportunity, because it's not going to come. It'll never come. And the only thing standing between you and success is just 1 second. One decision. Make it now or waste another day you'll never get back. My name is Gabriel Bowman. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really do appreciate you guys. All the support that you give me is just so motivating, and I really hope that I'm able to help you guys out, help you figure out some things in your life to achieve great and wonderful things. But without further ado, I post every single Monday, and I will see you next Monday.